He was coming down the pier to see what all the commotion was, and he seen what was going on. He said, "Whoa, stop. Somebody give me a knife." And he took a knife and he stabbed the bottom of my foot. I am from a small town called St. Rose, Louisiana. I was a partier in high school, but I was also pretty smart. I think it was my junior year. My mom kind of said, "Hey, let's start talking about colleges." And I just flat out told her, "No, I'm not going to college." I found a small mom and pop HVAC electrical company. Stayed at that same company for about 18 years. Then my injury happened, so that kind of changed everything. Around midnight or so, I wanted to go out to our boss's boat. And when they heard the thud, they looked up and they seen me climbing out of my boss's boat, and then I dove into the water. By the time they got down to where I was in the water, I was flailing, trying to stay above water. My boss's daughter's boyfriend was with us, and he's a registered nurse. And he was coming down the pier to see what all the commotion was, and he seen what was going on. He said, "Whoa, stop. Somebody give me a knife." And he took a knife and he stabbed the bottom of my foot. And I didn't move, didn't know nothing. He said, "Everybody step away and call 911. He's got a spinal cord injury." Once they took all that stuff out and I was able to talk on my own, my wife kind of said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And that's when she told me the doctor said, "You'll never walk again." And I kind of laughed at her. She's like, "That's not funny." I said, "No, I think it's funny because they don't know me." And like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't do." About a week later, I was listening to a sermon, and the title of the sermon was "Be the Victor, Not the Victim." That was my mentality. I'm not a victim of my injury. I'm gonna be the victor. The accident actually fast-tracked our move up here. So we bought a house up here. Once I got my house squared away, cleaned a bunch of stuff up, I started getting bored. I was itching to get back to work, but I didn't know what my options would be. And this day just so happened to be an article about a company called Peckham having a job fair. So I got dressed and I went to the little job fair, and then I got the position as the quality inspector for the new Linden location. It just so happened around the 9th month, a supervisor position became available. So that was my goal, was to be in a supervisor position. So I applied for it. I ended up taking the position, and it worked out. Pretty good at it. It's because I had experience working with people before, so I already knew how to manage. And then one day on the little Peckham TV, I seen the word construction trades, and that's my forte. It was a job opportunity for construction trades specialist. In the interview process, I actually really wanted to do it because again, it puts me back on my tools, which that's where my passion is. I just really enjoy sharing the knowledge, and me and my supervisor kind of came up with a streamlined lesson plan. That way, in case we only get them for maybe 2 months, we can still get them a certificate of completion. And then if I had them longer, that's when we start building something more. I might get a project for them to work on. I've already learned that not just our programs, but programs like this, a lot of the times they are the calm in these kids' chaotic life. I like to give personal experiences so they can understand and kind of relate to it. Life is not easy. You're not making it any easier on yourself by doing things you're doing. Wise up, be smarter. When I talk to people or when people ask me about where I work, I say they call themselves a barrier-free company. I call Peckham a second chance company. I knew I had skills, but I didn't know how or where I can apply those skills. Peckham gave me that opportunity. That's all I wanted, was a foot in the door, and let me prove to you that I can be a supervisor or that I had the skills to be a manager in some sort of way. When I moved up here and found out about Peckham, I found out real quick what my purpose was: to be an inspiration to some of the workers Peckham was going to hire, to inspire others to get up and get off their ass and get to work. I'm glad I found Peckham. I'm glad Peckham found me. I appreciate everything, the opportunity at Peckham, and helping me find my purpose.